Sorry, I was on mute. Good start. Basically, what I said was it's the same shit. 13 goals, 13, 91 to 16 goals, 11, 107. Really, it was the same shit. Nothing's changed. We shat the bed. We give up 8 straight goals, whatever it was. What do I say? What can I say? What can one say after that? Welcome to the fan cams. If you're new to the fan cams, it works a little something like this. Basically, this is now therapy for us. And, unfortunately, I mean, it was looking quite good at the start of this game or in the first half of this game. But, it is what it is. I'm going to put a link in the comments now. By the way, can you guys hear me now? Should be able to hear me now. The sound should be back. I've unmuted myself. Guys will come in. You'll hit the waiting room. I can fit 12 of you in here. Sit in the waiting room. Please just be patient. I'll try and get through as many of you as possible. I'll say it once, and I'll say it once only. Everyone's responsible for their own voices and what they say. Don't get personal. Don't get into the family. Don't get racial. But other than that, at some point, like we've got to criticize, because that's fucked, mate. That's fucked what they just dished up today. That's seriously so fucking messed up how they do it again, time after time. And it's almost as if they get to a point in the game where they think they've done enough and they just take the foot off and they get complacent. And when you hear words like, oh, we're really comfortable with where we're at from our head coach, just makes you wonder. Anyway, I'm going to put the link in. Stand by. I'm going to get a couple on. I'm going to start with Pommy because I feel like Pommy will know what to say.
Hi!
What's going on, brother?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you know when you just like kind of get to the point where you just resigned. I mean, it was inevitable, wasn't it? I mean, I'm not even surprised anymore. And I feel like we're just going to rehash old fan cams, so I'm not even going to get angry. So those tuning in on a Mother's Day, I'm wearing my pink. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. I'm probably not going to get angry. I mean, I've got one question and one question only. Like, honestly, Teague has the composure of Michael J. Fox carrying a hot cup of coffee. It is all over the fucking place. Do you know what I mean? That fourth quarter, I knew we lost it when within the first 30 seconds they won another centre clearance because that's all they did all game. And we started playing a zonal, keep it down the wing type football. And I'm thinking to myself, how many times does Teague need to see something until he might clock in his little mind of his that doing the same thing ain't going to fucking work? I mean, we see Stocker, a Moorish medalist on baller at halfback, and we wonder why the guy's out of position. We've paid Zach Williams, what, $750,000 to pretend to be a midfielder?
Can't believe.
Evidently, though, I think the biggest conspiracy theory in the world is, did Adam Sard switch bodies with Nick Hind? And we've actually got Nick Hind in an Adam Sard face mask because he was gashed too. But why are we going slow? My question isn't so much the players because, I mean, let's be honest, Cripps has got his mind on either a big contract offer or where to live in Perth based on that performance. But why the fuck are we slowing it down? It's not working. We play instinctively. If you watch Pep Guardiola at Man City, they were shit until they spent $1 billion getting the players to play his way. We can't play slow and controlled footy. It's not in our nature. We're not good enough. So why control the game that way? We got absolutely peppered in that fourth.
We did. And I can't believe they've done it again. They did so much right. And as much good as what they did just as worse to undo it all.
In the fourth quarter, not one player had more than 5 touches of our team. Do you know what I mean? Our mercurial captain had 2 touches. I mean, the big one for me is they nearly almost doubled their uncontested possessions in the third and fourth quarter. And that was that was what really impressed me this week. I said it in my pre-game. We have to close down space. We did that. And it's all right. It's miraculous, though, after JSOS goes off, everyone stops chasing shadows. We start just being static. I mean, we used the quote last week, are we sponsored by Officeworks because we're full of stationery? Well, Officeworks came back this week, didn't it? I mean, it was like back to school time. There was that much stationery going on.
Yeah.
Like, it's mental, and I don't get it because you see Beveridge, he's going absolutely cocoa bananas. And David Teague had the intensity I order an Uber Eats. And that is quite intense, by the way, because we've got a lot of people in this house and it's quite a complicated order. But the analogy I don't get it, Terry. I mean, they're good enough in parts, but the problem is this game's 30 minutes long a quarter for 4 quarters.
Yeah.
And I don't understand how we set up anymore. Like, that fourth quarter was a different side to the first 3 quarters. And we start, like, the commentators were like, oh, that's bold, Carlton keeping off their contested balls. Why were they off the ground in the fourth with a game on the line? Why?
I'll tell you, looking back in retrospect, there was a moment on the wing, end of the third quarter, Harry tried to play on and got pinned holding the ball.
Yeah.
And now that the game's over and that shit has happened, I look back to that moment and I say to myself, that's where it all started creeping in, because Harry wasn't doing that in the first 3. None of them were doing that in the first 3 quarters. It became a different game in the fourth.
And where was Harry? Where was Harry? Halfway up the ground on the wing, because Teague decides to go to this zonal, slow it down. And how many times does he need to see it to realise that this 23 blokes who were playing haven't got the backbone and the testicular fortitude yet to play that way, because it invites pressure. And in case Teague hasn't noticed, this is the 30th fucking time we've had 5 goals kicked on us under his reign. That's mighty impressive. Do you know what I mean? Like, if I did the same fucking stupid thing 30 times, my wife would divorce me, and rightly so. So what is he doing? Like, is he at Banterville? Is it because I call everyone Mickey Mouse and we're starting to play Disney football? Like, what is it? I don't get it. Someone needs to tell me, sit me down, make me a cup of tea, stroke my hair, and tell me what the fuck is going on, because I don't get it anymore. Like, we've lost that game. I blame the coaches. That's not the players. They're not good enough to stand up to that pressure. They're a top 2 side. That's what they do. But we did it well for 3 quarters. Why change the script? Like, 2017 Richmond were called one-dimensional because they only attacked. They learned to defend as the years went on, as the confidence built. Just keep playing that way. It works.
Yeah. Is the job too big for some of these coaches?
I think Teague's out of his depth massively, and people might hate me for saying that, but these decisions, man, someone's got to be responsible for it. I don't blame Stocker for being caught out of position. He's a fucking midfielder learning to be a halfback on the fly, and then I have to watch the VFL today and see Setterfield on the ball and kill it, and I'm thinking, when he plays seniors, he's playing halfback. Are we mad? Like, why is he in the VFL? So if Setterfield comes in next week, is he a midfielder or is he back into that defensive wing position? Like, why aren't we playing these players aces in their places? Are we that desperate? Like, it pains me to see it, though, because I've just watched 3 quarters of us bettering the doggies. And then the fourth quarter, why change it? Why not go back to the way you were going? Because when we play instinctively, they don't seem to have time to think about and fuck it up. I mean, Levi Casbolt, did he have $30 on the live bet on doggies winning? Because I'll tell you what, the odds were tasty. It was about $15. So if you did it, Levi. But legit, what's he doing? What's Saab doing? Like Williams, he's got my surname and he's going around there acting like it's me. It's mental. Like,
it's crazy.
I can't do it anymore, Terry.
Yeah. Genuinely speechless. Do want to get it moving on, but what's next? Like, now what? Because we've come up short against 4 final sides in 2021. I would say Richmond, Port, Brisbane, and the Doggies are playing finals in 2021. We've fallen short against all of them. You could argue that maybe our best performance was maybe Richmond, maybe even the Dogs for the 3 quarters. But no. Sorry, I'm not going to say that, because we can't be talking about, oh, we played 3 good quarters 1 week, because it's not about that anymore. And the players almost played like, oh, we played good for 3 quarters at least. And I'm going to be very interested to see what the coach says about where he believes we're at, because last week or the week before he said he was very comfortable with where we're at. I'm not comfortable with where we're at. I'm not sure if you are. I'm not sure if the audience is. But, mate, I'm going to move on. But I did want to get you on first because you were a comforting voice for me.
Well, I mean, we had some Michael J. Fox banter, so at least we always have that. But I mean, yeah, stick fat, everyone. I'm hurting. Enjoy your Mother's Day and go Blues, I suppose.
Yeah, good on you, brother. Thank you. Another one out there as well. I think I was muted before I said that. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, and my beautiful mother as well, if you're watching. Happy Mother's Day to you, and thank you. Let's go next up. Mr. Maloney. Mick.
Terry, I had to pull over. I thought you were going on at 8, but I was stuck on the freeway. I'm like, nah, fuck it. I'm getting off. We're going to talk. Now, but I'm going to be really calm about this, because you got to look at it in a fucking way that doesn't drive us insane. But fuck me, they are doing their best to drive us all to insanity. They really are. We looked, if you had no idea about the game of football and you were watching that game for 3 quarters, you would have thought that's a top 6 football team. And then with 5-6 minutes to go, when they think that they've got it all under control, just like a poof. Now, I didn't want to do this, but I'm going to point out players, and I'm going to try my best. I really am. Liam Jones is not a defender. He does not stay on his man. Do not sell us hope that he is a man-on-man defender. He's an intercept marker. If he's going to be a lockdown defender, stay on your man's ass. 3 times I saw him let Bruce have 20 meters on him. Number 1. Zach Williams, 700 grand. I don't give a shit what's on. He could be on 200 grand for all I give a shit. If you're coming to the Carlton Football Club and you're selling us hope, again, that you are the man that is taking us to the next level, our midfield group, he played in 4 fucking different positions tonight. Wing, half-back, half-forward, midfield. What is going on? I don't really feel sorry for Zach Williams. And what is he supposed to do? He's given the role. But what clarity do you have? And I'm going to say this, and as respectful, it's not a go on Eddie Betts. It is an indictment on our football club that Eddie Betts kicked 5 goals tonight. And that is not anything to do with Eddie Betts. That comes from youth. It comes from inner growth and development. And we struggle on all fronts of that. Patrick Cripps, no leadership. Sam Doherty tonight was incredible. I thought his game was great. But Cripps, I don't know what's going on with him. Leadership was gone. I actually said to the boys at 3/4 time, this is his quarter to step up. There's moments in games where you have the opportunity to have a shit one and you still take that moment. Williams had it. He fucked it. Cripps didn't do shit in that quarter. You can build around Walsh, and Mackay, but you can't win games of football with 3 players. You can't. Now, I don't know anymore. I don't know where we're going. I just 28 points up, and why are we changing game plans? And it's just really confusing, Terry. It really is. Yeah, I'm trying to remain as calm as possible.
It's so deeply embedded in the mentality of the play. You just watch them. You watch the body language. I was sitting on the wing. I was on level 2. And you just watch the body language change completely, because it became time to win. And as soon as it became time to win the game, we had no clue. Not a fucking Scooby-Doo. And not a clue.
Do we have selection integrity as well? Because at the moment, we're letting players get games not only on name. It seems like favourability at the moment. Because Levi Casbolt wouldn't get a game in any football club on the fucking country's list. He wouldn't. There was a moment, again, take your moment. Handball over to Fogarty in the last quarter. Fogarty walks in and kicks a goal. But instead, you're kicking it you're making it a worse, a harder kick. You're like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And
Yeah.
I just don't know anymore. I really don't. Like, we've got some footballers on. Kane Corns is right. He is right. Your bottom feeders are the ones that take you to the next step. You know, you look at your Richmonds. Their bottom 6 footballers for the last 4 years have been at that level. You don't need to be a superstar. You just need to do the job. And this is what frustrates me about Liam Jones, because he can be that footballer who just does his job. He can be. Look at Asprey and Noah Bolter. They are those 2 footballers. I don't need someone who's taking hangers. I need someone who's not going to make sure that Bruce kicks 5. I'm going to just lock down your football. I don't give a shit if you have 2 touches for the game, but he doesn't get 5. Levi Casbolt, you crunch packs. You get the hands, bring it to the ground. Let our smalls get it. No. Michael Gibbons, you should be having eight tackles a game. You know, some of the ball use decisions, and as I said, bottom 6 footballers, you look at your Gibbons and your Cottrells and your Noons. I'd rather play O'Brien, Dow, and Setterfield, and that's development.
I watched them today for the first 2.5 quarters. I don't think Dow did enough. I mean, I didn't watch the rest of the game, obviously, but from what I saw, Dow, no one really stood out today apart from TDK, Setterfield, and Durden. And I stand to be corrected because I didn't watch the last quarter or the second half of the third. But in the first 2.5, and that was a dog shit game as well. Those were the only 3 that I thought did anything worth noting. And I actually can't believe we're having this conversation now, because 70 minutes ago it was looking unbelievably good. And I can't. What did they kick? 8 in a row? Was it 8 goals in a row or 9?
7 of the last 6.
Fuck.
And we did it again. The coaching team and the coaching panel has to be questioned. If Teague and I haven't bagged David Teague. I never do. I really don't. I really like him. But he has to be questioned now, because if he comes out with the same rhetoric shit this week, I'm going to lose it. He should be putting them through 50s. Go do 5 50s this week. Make sure they'll throw up this week, because that was an indictment on the members, the paying members of this football club, to watch that last quarter. That was an indictment. As I said, Eddie Betts is a freak, an absolute freak. And we're all going to love him. And he's going to retire at the end of the year. He's going to go down as one of the greats of football history. But if he's kicking 5 goals in a team that's youth is supposed to be, it's positive, where the fuck is the positive? Now, sorry, I'm going to remain calm.
No, you're right. You're right. Nothing you're saying is out of line. And yeah, I really just. Why would the fans keep showing up? Like, what have they done in 2021? Like, to believe that we're improving and we're on the rise? Like, we went and recruited 2 of the better players in the league in terms of positional needs. And I'm sorry, but
wrong positions.
They had 21 touches between them, between the 2 of them.
Yep, that's 1.5 million. Just poof.
Anyway, it is what it is. At least we have each other, I guess.
We have.
At least we have each other. Appreciate you coming on, bro.
Big hug. Love you, brother.
Thanks, bro. Jad.
Mate. G'day. I just don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. Someone's got to explain to me how it happened, because I think it's mental, but I don't get it. Like, I don't have a lot to say. I just don't understand how that can happen again.
Yeah.
I just don't get it, man. Like, I don't know if Teague is a serious coach. Like, what does he want to achieve? Because he comes out and says it's going to be a shootout, I think, in his press conference. But that's not the mentality, in my opinion, of a premiership coach or like a serious coach. I wouldn't hear Clarkton or Bevo even, or Hardwick saying shit like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he just seems resigned. I don't know. The bloke just seems so in love with the magic of the game, and it's like, yeah, Betts, awesome. We're going to kick goals. But what are you doing, David? What are you trying to achieve, man? Because this is like the 30th time I read just then that this has happened. Yeah. And I don't know how it happens, man. Like, I don't know. I just don't.
Yeah, it's a real spot of. Sorry, I'm echoing on your side. It's a real spot of where the fuck are we at? Where's the development? There's so many questions, but it's just I don't know. It's actually quite fascinating how they can do it because I don't know what side of the coin you look at it from. Like, are we damaging our mentality by saying to ourselves there was a lot to like from that performance? Because there was a lot to like. But I feel like if we go down that mentality of, yeah, the result is the result, but there was a lot that we did right, are we then pandering to the complacent mentality? Like, I don't know.
The way I'm looking at it is I'm looking at all those positives, but then it's only adding up to the overall like negative. You know, like how we can play electric elite football,
Disciplined.
and the discipline, yeah, exact structure, discipline, elite football, and then just like capitulate like that. And I don't even buy the fact, like you hear the commentators going on about, oh, the Dogs have turned it on. You know, no, that's bullshit. The Dogs tried hard all day and they were coming all day, yeah, and we stood up for most of the day. So I don't understand why it happened in the last quarter, because they know it's going to come again. And it's not like it's throughout the day they handled it. Every time the Dogs got a goal, we answered with 2, or we answered it straight away. So I just don't understand how we can withstand it all day, answer it all day, and then when the game is on the line like that, you just capitulate. Like, mate, I don't know what's being done to stop it, because it's the same culprits every time. Cripper, mate, I don't give a f. He's playing like shit. I'm just saying it. He's playing like absolute shit. Like, come on, mate. You're the captain of the club. You can't play like that, man. And I just think it's infectious, because then Williams plays like shit, and then Saad I think they put a bit of work into him today, but man, where do you go from here? Because now next week we have to win, or else it's absolutely curtains for the season. And fuck shit, man. I don't know. Are we a serious team? Like, do they seriously want to become like a top 4 team? Because I don't know. I just think as a team we love the positives too much. Like, they love their own work a bit much. Maybe that's just.
Yeah, no. I think you're right. I saw a bunch of guys who got to a certain point in the game where we had done so much right, and I saw a bunch of guys not continue on with it. And is the subliminal message of what we're hearing from coaches and staff and whatnot when they say we are happy with where we're at and we're on track, and is that subliminal message seeping into them? Is it a subconscious complacency that kicks in when we play really well for 3 and whatever quarters it was? Is there something going on where they don't have the mentality of the job's not done until the job's done? Because it's too common, mate. It's too common.
You're spot on, man. It is. It's too common. It's just it's a dead set pattern that is seeped in. And Teague, man, that's like you just hit it on the head. Like, are we serious enough as a team? Do they really want to become like the next Melbourne? Oh, I just don't see it, because it's a pattern and it's just nothing's been done to correct it, man. And I'm just, and you know what? Like, watching him throughout the day, you could feel that fragility.
Mm.
I don't know if you're the same, but me watching the TV, I'm just like, mate, this could burst open at any moment here.
Yeah.
And it just proved to be again. And I just don't know how it gets fixed. I've got no fucking clue.
Yeah, it's tough. It's going to be a tough one, mate. It's going to be a tough week. I'll tell you that much. It's just going to be.
That being said, though, sorry, mate. One more point. Fogarty and Jack had to kick those. I think we missed 3 running into open goal.
Yeah.
And mate, that took years off my life. Those misses.
Yeah.
It's probably game over if they kick them. So footy, this game, it's a game of margins, and if you don't get the margins right, the marginal things right, the overall picture blows up like it is now. Like, I don't know. I don't know what they do, mate.
Yeah.
I'll let
Spot
you
on.
move on, though.
All right, mate. Thanks for coming on. Love ya.
Love you too.
See you, mate. Toby.
G'day, Tez. How are you, Matt?
Good, mate. How are you going?
Look, I'm not disappointed with our efforts, Nut. I only saw 3 quarters. So, our first 3 quarters. Yeah, okay, Tez. We're all upset. But let's take it as a positive. Because if we look at the positives, then you can think about the negatives. Okay? So just and I know we're all upset, Matt. Yeah, we're all shattered. I'm Chad, Matt. 16-point loss. That kind of hurts again to be sitting here talking to you and going, as Carlton fans, as we all are, we sit here some weeks and we get upset because we're all passionate fans about the club. But one positive about tonight, and your previous caller and your other callers have been right. Eddie Betts is a star, but we're not going to have him forever. We need others to start stepping up. If you play 3 quarters of footy, do you give up in the last quarter and say, okay, we're done? Do we swap jumpers at 3/4 time with the other side and go, okay, are we going to give up? No, you keep running until the game is over. You run. You don't give up.
Yeah.
If you're down by, say, 5 points with 3 minutes to go, do you give up? Or do you keep fighting and show pride in the jumper and go, come on, we can do this? It's all for one or one for all, Terry.
Yeah.
It's not
Spot on,
one
mate.
person.
Spot on. I'm with you.
Everybody has to do it.
Yeah, I'm with you. I appreciate you calling in, Toby, mate. Always good to get your thoughts.
Terry, I love coming on, mate. And I will keep coming on because, mate, we're all in this together as Carlton supporters. And I want to show that, mate, even when we're down, we can get back up. We are showing signs, Matt. We just got to stay positive. Heads up. Yeah, okay, Melbourne's going to be tough next week. But if we can start off on a good foot, I reckon we might be okay. But who knows? 1 week at a time, Tez. We'll be right. We just got to keep our heads up, Matt.
Good on you, mate. Thank you so much. I can always rely on Toby to put a smile on my face. Always. He's a great man. Thanks, Toby. For those of you trying to get in, I'm seeing a request in my screen here. It's full. Just keep trying. I'll try and get through as many as I can. Let's go with Christopher. Christopher.
Hey, go back. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now? Okay, let's move on. All right. Josh.
Oh, mate.
What's going on, brother?
Oh, my God. I was watching that game and I was like, beautiful. It's like watching last year's game. We're going to win this by a bit. And then when I just see us let them just fucking laze off on defense, let them chip the ball up the ground and kick goals. Mate. I don't know what happened. It was just the 4th quarter. We just seemed to have no defensive pressure at all. I mean, we can blame it on our midfielders for maybe putting our defenders under pressure like that. But shit, I don't know what's going on. There's just a body language on field. Ugh.
It's so cringeworthy, man. It's cringe. Honestly, it's cringe. It's not even to the point where we can scream at him anymore. Like, it's a broken, repetitive, sinking feeling. It's just the fucking same shit.
Broken record every week. That's how I feel.
Honestly, man. Like, what are we bothering for? What are we bothering for when they don't care? They don't care to care for long enough. They care to care until they think they've done enough. They don't care until the 4th quarter finishes. They must have thought that they had done enough.
It's unacceptable.
The center clearances, mate. anytime the doggies, I don't know what the end of the stats were. At one point, I think it was midway through the fourth or half at the start of the fourth, it was 20-5 center clearances. It's like we didn't rectify it. We didn't change the mix up in there. Like, I mean, what are you going to say, mate? Honestly.
There's nothing to say because unfortunately this is how it is every week. When we have a chance to fucking prove ourselves against the top team, right? We always come up short like this, and I'm so sick of it. You know, we were so happy against Bulldogs, Gold Coast. It doesn't mean shit until we actually start to prove ourselves. That's how it is, unfortunately. And you know what? I don't like to put the pressure on Teague, right? But when I see Teague showing no emotion for the same face for the entire game, right? It's just like, what the hell is going on? Bevo, right? I don't like to compare the coaches, but Beveridge must have had a good go at the doggies at the end of the third quarter. And you know what he did? He stood out there on the field as a reminder to their players. Just shows a difference to me. So, you know, I don't want to put the pressure on Teague. It might take him a few more seasons to really get there. But you know what? I think that's the difference there as well. Like, Bevo standing there on the field is a reminder to their players whenever they look over there at their bench. That is a reminder, get the job done.
Yeah.
Right? We thought we had the job done at the end of the third quarter, and it's just unacceptable. We need to prove ourselves. Next week against Melbourne, I'm scared. I'm really scared.
Yeah.
Like,
what did you make? At what? I mean, people have been really quick to not allow other supporters to question our fitness. I mean, I saw a bunch of guys that either didn't care to keep working hard or weren't physically capable of working hard for the rest of the Now, is that? I mean, this guy's been with us for, what is it, 2 full preseasons now? I understand there's a COVID-affected year. Maybe there's something there, but I mean, the players obviously will have the criticism. I was thinking about it during the week, but at what point do you start criticizing the people who have put the people – sorry. At what point do we start criticizing the people who are responsible for the environment that the players are in? Like, what's the environment that they're around? Like, are they being told that we're on the right track and it's going to be okay? Because if they're not being told that they haven't proven anything, then I would be a little worried about that.
Exactly. You know what? And that's spot on because the environment there, something's wrong, right? People can say as much as they want that we can make the finals and all that. I remember Doherty saying at the start of the year, whether it was on the radio or something, that we could potentially make finals. Don't say anything until we actually prove something because words don't mean shit until we actually prove it. I hope Teague tells them to bring their mouth guards to training because that fourth quarter, just piss weak. But absolutely, you were spot on about that. The environment, it's been like that for years. We've just seen 2 years. Like I definitely think Teague has brought us to the next level that Bolton couldn't bring us to. But it's been like this for 2 years now. We're going to start climbing up because otherwise nothing's going to change. Week in, week out. It just fucking hurts.
Yeah. Well said, mate. Thank you. Thank you for expressing yourself with such clarity. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Terry, for having me on.
See you, bro. Where are we? Josh, another one. Hey, mate.
How's it going?
Good. Long time no see.
Yeah, well, that fourth quarter is it weird that I'm like not even surprised that last quarter. The second Silvani got injured, I was just like, I think it's done. Like even though it was about 20 points off, I saw that and I was like, can they bounce back from it? I don't think they have the mentality to just bounce back. I feel like they just got lost in that, and then the fourth quarter, I don't even know. That reminded me of I don't know, Brendan Bolton. Brendan Bolton. I know nothing, no game plan. 8 in a row. I was just like,
it's like we're pawns in the game because we're going to show up next week. We're also going to show up the week after, and it's like the club know we're not going anywhere. None of these fans are going anywhere. I say it all the time. If you don't laugh, you die with this club.
Yeah. No, honestly, like I'm watching with my mum. Mother's Day, we're both like, by I think half time, we're like, this could be a good Mother's Day present, maybe. get the job done. But then in the game, we're just laughing through it because like if we don't laugh, we cry, and it's probably it might not be the attitude, but like sometimes like I can't be bothered getting mad anymore because like it happens most weeks now. So it's just kind of like I still watch, but I'm just like not even surprised. I don't have any answers either, so it's just like I don't want to say anything without
I mean, the fans care more than the players. It's clear.
Yeah,
it's clear. It's dead clear. The fans care more than the players. So, we get told, "Oh, it's just a game." Well, if you play like it's just a game, you get results like it's just a game. It's the teams that are willing to actually commit to something more than themselves that actually win. So we obviously don't have that right now. There's not a commitment to do that and continually get better. We four final sides and we haven't really pushed over there. So look, we'll see how it goes, man.
Yeah, leadership's another one. I don't know what's happening with that, but the leaders need to step up in that, especially in that quarter. Like Crip kicks a goal with a minute left. And it's like you need that when there's 15 minutes left or 10 minutes left. But,
yeah.
Oh well, I'll still be going next week, but it's like, I just you just want to see the change, but I just don't have the confidence.
No, of course. Good on you, mate.
I'll catch you later.
See you, brother. Dean.
How are we, mate?
Good. How are you?
Just sometimes it's like you can have all the words to say, but I don't know, I'm just a bit lost at the moment. As dramatic as that sounds.
What's going on there? He's disconnected. You there, Dean? I've lost Dean. Okay. Johnny Allen.
Yeah, g'day, mate. It's Fat Zach Williams here. I'm just in the Scott Cummings ward of the Royal Perth Hospital getting my stomach pumped of all the hamburgers I ate after my fat contract with Carlton. Just trying to get my shit together here, mate, and in rehab, and looking forward to next week against Melbourne, where hopefully I can break 15 Ks an hour. Not for the game, just an hour would be my goal. It's a bit concerning, and I know a lot of you are worried about me out there, but I'm okay. And obviously it is really me, John Allen, but however, I am in an infirmary of a mental ward at the moment, hence the pillows. It is a tough day. In all seriousness, though, 900K to pay for a bloke who I've been wanting to say this for weeks, and I'm just going to say it now. He looks fat. He looks slow. On the Blue Abroad Nation on Saturday, I mentioned that, yes, he's being played out of position and he should be on the other halfback flank with Sard so that teams don't know which way to look. I just would seriously be concerned that he wouldn't have the dash to be able to be the Zach Williams from GWS anymore. That's just one of many concerns. That's one that plays on my mind a lot. That's why I'm mentioning it. And I don't have any answers for the last 40 minutes of that game. I could see it coming. The last 5 to 10 minutes of the third quarter, it had that Carlton feel about it, and I thought, geez, we could get munted here in this last quarter, and it did. It had that feel, it had that vibe. We're used to it, and I'm not coming here with any answers for it. There are a lot of areas we fell down as a collective, and what you really noticed in that last quarter, we weren't getting the little hands in when they were getting the ball out of the congestion to the outside players to disrupt those handballs. They were just getting it out easy. And where were we? And they were in packs. They were running in numbers, and I just don't know where we were, mate. Like watched the VFL today, and it was a bit of a weird game for us as well. And unfortunately, there is not a lot of answers there either. Setter's okay, not to me wasn't AFL standard still though. He got caught a lot of times. So I'm going to try and keep positive. I'm looking forward to the big challenge next week against Melbourne. Hopefully they let me out on day release and I can get a cheeseburger and enjoy the game. But I don't know, mate. Tough day.
Very tough day, mate. Very tough day, but at least you've come and brought a smile.
I hope so. It's pretty stupid dad joke stuff, but that's me. But,
why we love you, mate. That's why we love you.
Dear. Good. Hey, all the Blue supporters out there, don't go necking yourselves. It's not the end of the world. We've got next week, and look, what choice do we have? We're Carlton. We love our team. We have to believe that they will get better. And when they do, we'll be there to celebrate it and look back at these frustrating times, roll our eyes with a smile on our face. That's about it at the moment. That's all I can say.
Yeah, no, well said, mate. Thanks so much for coming on.
See you, Chief.
See you, bro. I've got Rocco. Well, I had Rocco. Let's go. Rocco, if you're there, jump in, mate. Riley from Queensland.
Mate, if we were a school kid, we would have repeated the same grade 3 years in a row. Every time we come towards a test, we fail miserably. I don't want to hear from anyone that we were good for 2.5 quarters. Yeah, we were, sure. We've been good for 2.5 quarters against most sides that we play. We fail when the big moments come. Every single time. Not one player had more than 5 possessions in that last quarter. Not one player really wanted to truly get their hands dirty in that last quarter, outside of a couple of exceptions. Let's look at Patrick Cripps. You want to know how many possessions that Patrick Cripps had until that junk time goal with a minute left in that last quarter?
In the fourth?
1. Yeah.
1.
1. And he wants 800,000. I mean, seriously. We just do it every single time. I'm actually going to start referring to Carlton. We're not the Carlton Blues anymore. We're the Carlton Downhill Skiers. And it was the same today. The game's on our terms. We look fantastic. You can't beat us. As soon as a side starts giving us a little bit of a nudge, a little bit of a push, we go to water. Every single time. But it's okay because, we've got a record membership and, we're out of debt and Icon Park's going to look fantastic next year and all that sort of thing. It's not good enough. And I'm still seeing apologists everywhere on social media. We let this happen and the club just keeps getting away with it. We need to it's not good enough. It's not good enough. We are the AFL. I'm sorry, Terry, because I know you go for it. We are the AFL equivalent of Arsenal.
We are.
Right. We are the AFL equivalent of Arsenal. And it's not good enough.
Yeah.
And you know what? And I will support everyone that's out there every week. But we've got to ask ourselves some serious questions. And people say, Carlton performed really well against the Western Bulldogs. And Carlton, they stood up for a long time, probably did better than, a lot of people thought. Who fucking cares? All that matters is the win or the loss. We're 3-5. We've talked about this rebuild, 6 years of the rebuild. And we say, I remember 4 years ago, and I was talking to Pommy about this, and I think I've talked to you about this in the past. In 2017, we're like, wait until, these players are 24, 25. They're going to be experienced. They're taking the combine. They're 25 now. We're in that window now. And we still fail every time. And that's the sort of loss, that's the sort of loss that defines the season. It could have been losses, wins. Sorry, it could have been one of those wins where you're like, we stood up against good opposition that gives you the confidence. We've probably got the confidence sapped out of us now. And you know what? I'd love to say that we rebound next week and we can beat, but I don't think we can. That's the sort of loss that just takes the wind out of ourselves and just takes the confidence out.
Yeah, I feel like teams who are in the 8, the good teams, I should say, they will all feel like no matter what, they're always a chance to beat Carlton because Carlton will fuck it up for themselves. That's kind of where the mentality's at.
100%. When the game is there to be won, we can't stand up. We make dumb decisions around the ground. We shit ourselves. We continue to shit ourselves with our ball movement and decision making. Like you saw it in that last quarter because even to a degree, the Dogs kept letting us off. They kept missing goals in the middle portion of that last quarter. We had the opportunity and we continued to give it to them. It's not good enough. And anyone who says It's good enough. I'm sorry, you have got rocks in your brain because it's not. We can't stand for it anymore. And you know what? It makes me really sit here and concerned about the whole direction because it's okay for some people to keep competing, but there's going to come a point where players are going to start going. We talk about player retention, the good players, they're going to go. And we're going to pass that window because this was supposed to be the beginning of the window.
I think if that does start happening and players start leaving, that's maybe when the fans will really turn it up because that's so far it hasn't happened. We haven't lost anyone. No one's given up.
No, and it's not given, and that's a credit to the fan base because on a level we love this football club and we turn out and we continue to support them. But it's the same thing. It's like if I get this cup, right? This cup, and I try to put an Olympic swimming pool in this cup in terms of water, I'd be called a fucking madman, wouldn't I? Would I? Or would I not?
You would. You would.
Exactly. So if we let the same shit happen every fucking year, what's going to happen? We're going to be called mad. It's going to get to the point where it's just, we've missed the window. And I know I'm probably emotional and I'm angry right now. And that's not me dogging the club or not supporting the club. Because everyone knows I will support this same club every week. And I'll back them in and I'll support them to the best of my ability. But it's not good enough. We can't let them off the hook. There is no excuses for tonight. There's no excuses for continued failures in big games. Not now. Maybe a couple of years ago. Oh, you tried hard. But not now. There's enough experience out there right now. You had the position to win, struggled it again. It doesn't matter who we're playing. It doesn't matter if we're playing the Dogs or fucking North Melbourne. Yeah.
No, very, very well said, mate. Very well said. Very well expressed.
Good evening.
It's messed up. I think I'll move on. But thanks so much for coming on, man. I'll speak to you after this.
Cheers, mate. Have a good one.
See you, legend. Let's get Rocco in. Where are we? Rocco.
Hey, can you hear me properly?
Yeah, I can hear you, mate.
All right, good. There's a laptop playing up a bit. So I went to the game. We all went to the game. Man, this starts from the top again, man. It was the selection to start off with. When we all saw that SBS was I don't know if anyone's talked about this, but when we saw that SBS was again emergency, come on, man. What are we doing here, you know? And then Casbolt, the cockroach. You can't kill him. You cannot kill him. Like, the mistakes he does are so bad. They cost a goal nearly every time, don't they? Like, it's just, what is wrong with people? Like, what's he doing, man? Well, why would he be doing these kind of moves? You know what I mean? SBS should have been in that game. I don't know if that's going to make a difference. And then we get through the game, 3 quarters, they play all right. And then what happens? You know what I mean? Like, no leaders stand up anymore. Like, we can't expect Walsh to keep doing this, man. Like, get us through each game. Look, again, I don't want to keep harping on about Cribs, but, man, like in the last quarter, I don't know if you saw the stats of the centre clearances. I know they've got a good midfield, but I'm pretty sure we only got like 2 clearances to like 10 in the last, whatever it was. What are they doing? And what's Williams doing? Like, he had 9%.
Rocco, what the fuck is going on there, mate?
Look, I don't know. Where do we play him? Like, today we were going, maybe we should just put him in the back line. That's where he plays well. The first thing we see is they start him in the forward line. They start him in the forward 50, didn't they? Then they put him in the middle. Then they put him in the back line, and he gets like 9 possessions for 1 possession in the first quarter. You know what I mean? Come on, man. What's going on with you, man? People like Nunes, and yeah, they built up some credits, you know, but when we really needed these experienced players in that last 5 minutes of that third quarter, what's going on there, man? When they kicked those 2 goals, it was already worrying signs. You know what I mean? And then in the last quarter, no one stood up. No one. Probably Wiedering tried to stand up. Jones again, man. Oh, come on, mate. Like, stick to your man. Like, he let that fucking banana kick them, you know? I don't know, man. I'm telling you, man, we have got a bunch of players there that just aren't up to the standard. And I'm talking about standard, not when we're playing well, standard when we need you. The ones that take those moments. Like there was a couple of times they got the ball on the wing and they kicked it out on the full and that. Like, what happened to slowing down the game, taking control of the game, knowing where are these? Like a lot of those players just don't know. And where does that start from? It has to start from, again, coaches and leaders and showing experience on the ground. It was really, really bad that last quarter. Like terrible. Like it was embarrassing. That's how bad it was.
Yeah, I've mentioned about, like, I think I asked someone before, like, do you think that the job is too big for some of the coaches? I actually should also ask the same thing. Is the club too big for these players? Is it too big of a task?
Yes, it looks like it. It looks like it. It's too big for the coaches, especially a lot of those. I don't think they know what they can't handle the job. And you're probably right. It's funny, man. Like these players like Williams and Saad, they come to a club and they look worse.
Yeah.
They look worse. Like
Let's go back.
There's that one incident with Saad, like I'm not blaming everything on him, but he's running to his right side. And then not only he ran to the right side of the play, which isn't his side, right? Then they give him the ball. Like the player should be smart enough to say, mate, like it's not a good spot for you. You know what I mean? Like, but no, as soon as they see him, they don't think, man. They just hand him the ball. You know what I mean? And what happens? He kicks it, I don't know, on the full or whatever he did. You know, like they're just not smart enough, man. I'm telling you, a lot of our leaders, man. I don't even know if we got that many leaders, to tell you the truth. You know, a bit by three-quarter time, I said, you know what? We could have one of the best spines in the business, right? Yeah. Kay, Walsh, Wiedering. That could be one of the best spines. But fuck, we got another 18 bananas, man, by sometimes, you know, like, I don't know. It's very disappointing, man. I haven't really analysed the game. It's just disappointing that last quarter the way. We were 28 points up, weren't we?
28 points up. Still speechless, to be honest. I can't believe they did it, but I'm not fucking surprised one bit.
No, and then you're exactly right. Once it happens, you go, I'm not surprised. But at the time, you're thinking, you know, there was those moments we should have taken. You know, we should have kicked a couple of those. And that Casbolt, when was it in the last quarter, and that when he should have handballed it over. You know, Fogarty was on his own. You know, like think about it, man. Like it's not.
He's not getting smarter.
No.
Not getting better.
No. He's not.
What are we holding on to? What are we holding on to?
Why? What's with this, with Teague? I just like to ask, what is it? What are we trying to achieve with him there? Like, I don't understand that. Like, even Pitternet's gone downhill a little bit. He got beaten by what ruckman did they have? Like, I don't get what happened. And I think he won the tap outs and we lost the clearances again.
How many times did you see him hit the ball to space where there were no Carlton players?
Right. So this is what I was just about to say. He's got no sense of that soft hands or, you know, hitting it to a player. He hasn't got that sense, I don't think. He gets up there, he gets his hand to the ball, but he just hits it to nobody, you know. And it's almost like the doggies read what he was about to do, you know. So we do that and we lose the clearances again, you know. So I think we've got a lot of dumb players in there. I just don't think we've got footy smart players, and we need to get. I don't know. Well, I need to say we need to get some in. Where are we going to get them from? I don't know.
It's tough. We've got to sit through.
It's tough. It's a really, really. It was really demoralising today. It was when I left. I think we all sat, we've never done this. We all sat there for about 5 minutes after the game and just sat there watching what was going on the ground. It was that bad, yeah.
Demoralising is the perfect word.
Yeah, and they keep doing it. And, you know, I'm waiting for the press conference. I haven't heard it yet, but I hope there's a bit of fire in there. And, again, I hope he does some smart moves next week, man. Play the kids that need to be played. Don't worry about it. I would rather have got punished if we left Casbolt out and all that, and then you go, at least they tried these players. But this is insanity what we're doing here. We just keep doing this. Yeah.
It is. It's true.
Anyway, thanks
All right,
again.
See
We
you,
feel
mate.
a little bit better now.
Good on you, Rocco.
See you, mate.
Drew, I'm tired of having my heart broken. 43-point turnaround. How could this happen? Drew from Central Australia. I agree with this guy. Thank you very much, Drew Pratt, for that. Andrew, next up. Hey, mate.
Howdy. I apologise because I'm going to be going a bit against the grain for how everyone's been feeling, and I'm going to take you on a little trip down memory lane. Now, I'd say about a week or two ago after the Brisbane loss, I decided that I was going to rewatch the game in 2018 where we beat Gold Coast. I remember it quite vividly. I remember feeling really excited watching it. I remember the day after I was walking to school, I was listening to your player ratings, just absolutely giddy, loving all the 10 out of 10s. And I watched it back. It is one of the worst games I have ever seen. That fourth quarter that we dished up today was the entire game, bar like 5 minutes. But the reason I bring this up is we have come very far. Although to say that, which we call don't worry about this loss, just focus on where we've come from, that's wrong. It was quite disappointing. And it's also not to say that the sky is falling, everything is over just because of 40 minutes of play. Like most things, the truth does lie within the middle. But the other thing I wanted to point out was in that fourth quarter, a lot of people have been bringing up a certain number of things. No one had more than 5 touches. People questioning fitness, people questioning efforts. I would argue you could give me any team in AFL history. You could give me the Tigers of last year. You could give me the Eagles of the mid-2000s. You could give me 2001 Essendon and give them any lead you like, 50, 60 points. No one's holding that against how well the Dogs played in that fourth quarter. It was insane. No one had more than 5 touches because every single player just worked stupidly hard and just raised levels. Like you could have put anyone in that team and they would have looked like a star. You could have put Jason Tutt or someone like that in there. They would have just flown off. There was no way. I can't think of a single thing Carlton could have done at any point in that quarter that would have changed it. Like you could look at the forward line. No one really did anything, but they weren't getting the ball. It was never going to go there. It's not really their fault. You could blame the defenders because they just conceded 8 goals in a row. But again, they just had inside 50 after inside 50 bombarded on them. Eventually, they're going to win out. You could blame the midfielders. But when you're going against a contest against Treloar, Bailey Smith, Jack McRae, Bontempelli, Lockie Hunter, plus anyone else, and Liberatore, anyone else you want to chuck in there, how are you supposed to win those 50-50s? We didn't win a single 50-50 in the fourth quarter. Now, you can look at that from a perspective of they didn't want it enough, and that's a fair point. But you can also look at it from a perspective of what are you supposed to do? There's no way you have 50 to 100 50-50s and you don't win one of them without just something not going your way. I can't remember what moment it was, but it was a certain point in the fourth quarter. I just sat there and I went, well, it's just not our quarter. There's nothing we can do here anymore. No matter what we do, it's going to work out for them. I think it was to do with Caleb Daniel took some ridiculous intercept mark for nearly the 3rd time in the quarter, even though I don't think he's taken 3 intercept marks over his whole career. And I just thought to myself, what can we do? There's nothing to do.
Did you? I'll counter. I want to counter that. Do you think, as a fan, did you see the same intensity from our players in the fourth quarter as what you saw in the first 3? The same desperation?
No,
and
certainly not.
So that's how you win those 50-50 contests, by bringing the same heat that you brought when you were playing in the first 3 quarters. I don't know about we couldn't have done anything. I think that's a losing mentality. Because it's very binary. It's win or lose. That's what it is. There's no trying. It's you win or you lose. And I just felt like once the fourth quarter came, an added layer of pressure comes onto the mentality, which for whatever reason makes them shrivel up a little bit. And for whatever reason, the same intensity that they were bringing in the first 3 wasn't there in the final. And I don't know. I don't know if we can sit here. If we sit here and say, oh, there's nothing we can do, we lose, period. Give up.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's the mentality of a team that wants to win a flag.
No,
You can't
certainly
accept it. You can't accept it. You know, those are just sort of, I'm thinking out loud. We can't accept that. Oh, it's Bont and Hunter, who was well held. He was well held today. Libba was okay, but not outstanding. Bailey Smith, well held today. By the same token, we've got Cripps, Walsh, Williams. We've got the names. I think we've got the names to match. And I thought we certainly did match them. It's just hard because we're all looking for the fans. The fans are the ones that have to dwell on it. And I feel like some of these players will just go home and just, it'll be all right. They'll just show up to work tomorrow, have a laugh with their mates, and it'll all be fine. I really don't know if they hurt as much as the fans. I really don't.
No, probably not. But there is a difference between acknowledgement and acceptance. No one should be happy with what happened. Certainly not. But at the same token, you need to understand that sometimes there aren't things that you just can't do. There's things you can't help. Now, are there specific players you could call out? Yeah, although I hate doing it. Like, would Zach Williams probably deserve to be dropped? Probably. Wasn't good enough in the midfield. Would you say that Liam Jones it was actually probably a hallmark of his career. Very good intercept work, but leaking goals out the wazoo. That's just kind of how he plays. Like, no one should be happy. Everyone should be hurting. And I do agree that they're probably not hurting nearly as much as fans are. But you also do have to credit the opposition for how ridiculously well they played. And they stood up when they needed to. There's a reason they're 7-1. And that fourth quarter alone showed why they are 7-1. Because that's probably because I watch too much football, to be honest. That's probably the fourth or fifth time the Bulldogs this season have just stormed home. I think, no, it wouldn't be North, but they just, every time they just look like both teams are kind of there and they just punch through and they belt the other team. Like, it's almost like it's a completely different game. And it happened again. I was waiting for it to happen because I knew they were going to do it.
It's interesting. Very interesting, mate. Great discussion. I thoroughly enjoyed that. I appreciate you coming on.
No problem. Thank you, Jez.
See you, brother. Have a good one. Oh, where are we? Webby.
What do you
Hey,
say,
mate.
Tez? What do you say, mate?
I'm sitting there watching you wait away, mate, waiting for you to let go. What's exactly what does one say after that? What do you say?
What do you say, mate? Seriously. Ugh, it hurts, mate. This hurts. I love this club. The same as you. I love this club. I turn up every week, the same as you. And I walk out disappointed, the same as you. For me, Williams cannot play next week. If they play Williams, what kind of message is that sending to a Paddy Dow, a Will Setterfield, a Matty Kennedy, who bust their asses playing VFL every week, while he can go out there and get 9 disposals on 900,000, Ted?
Can you believe it?
900,000, like, I don't give a shit about the money, mate, right? But 9 disposals. Like,
I don't.
And Sard and Williams were supposed to take us to the promised land, take us to the finals. They're just not. Mate, we are middle of the road. Middle of the road, honestly. And I don't know what these bloody coaches are saying in a Levi Casbolt. What does he give us? Seriously. What does he give us, Tez? Can you tell me?
He bleeds blue.
Like, for the first time this season, I saw him actually hurt a fucking opposition player. And I was sitting there like, yes, Casbolt, you should be doing that every bloody week. Every week, mate. You're a big oaf of a bloke. I sound like Pommy, but yeah, like he's a big oaf of a bloke. Like, hurt the opposition. Hurt them.
I just think he's limited, and there's certain things that he does that he needs to be more athletic or whatnot, and he's not, and his decision making isn't quick enough. It isn't good enough. Really, Levi should be one of the leaders of the club. He's an elder statesman at the club. He should be an on-field leader. But unfortunately, I'm not sure. I'm not going to speak on everyone in the audience. But when he has the ball in his hand, I literally tell myself, please get rid of it before you fuck something up. Like it's gotten to the point where I can't watch him play anymore because I'm worried about what he's going to do next.
I was walking out, right?
And I love the bloke. I love him. He's literally a Carlton man. He literally, I love the bloke. But it's what are we? Is it too early to say he's done? Is it? Well, what are we waiting for here? What is he possibly going to give us that we are going to say in 3 years? Thank goodness he kept playing in 2021.
I've got a story for you. All right?
Yeah, make it quick.
Yeah. I was walking out and I heard a lady say, "Oh, the Bulldogs just outgunned us in the end." That's a losing mentality, mate. We have to take a scalp here. We as fans fucking deserve better and friggin' should be asking questions.
Yep.
So, mate, it's frustrating. They always ruin my weekend, these bastards. I'm sorry. I'm emotional tonight. I'm really angry.
No, that's all good, mate. We're all in the same boat. But I'll tell you what, we've been going for an hour and 7. I do feel better than what I did an hour and 7 minutes ago, and I hope that has rubbed off on others as well, because at least we can get it out and fucking talk about it. I mean, even though we're saying the same shit every fucking week, it's good to get the perspectives of different people. So, mate, I appreciate you and the passion. And
we have to be better. We have to be better and stop accepting mediocrity.
Yeah, well said, mate.
And that's it. All right.
Well said.
All right, Tez.
Good on you, Webby.
See you, mate.
See you, mate. Brody Marston, thanks very much for this one. Tez, it's coaching. Bevo ran to the pine to take control when we got a run on. Teague, on the other hand, was in his box staring out the window with a blank expression. Yeah, I think it might be time for Teague to jump out. I wouldn't mind seeing that. What do you got? Ben Leonard, can you drop the link again? I got kicked out. I can. One second. Ugur, not playing well enough for long enough. Well said. Well said. Ben, can you please message me privately because I do want to wrap it up. I've got 4 people waiting, and I think it's time to wrap it up at some point soon. So we'll leave it there. Maddie, let's get you going. Hello.
Hi, Tez.
How's it going?
Disappointing.
Yeah, gut wrenches. Yeah. Tell me about it.
Why can't we play 4 quarters? With just that last quarter, it happens all the time.
Yeah.
Just as soon as Jack went down, everyone just stopped.
You just kind of know, yeah.
I saw it happen, and I apologized to the person in front of me because I just screamed as soon as he went down. Not again.
Yeah, he's had a horrible run at it. He just seems to get all these wacky, unusual, unlucky injuries, doesn't he?
I was like, come on, Jack, get up. And he did, but it wasn't.
It's true.
Yeah, I just wanted to give a shout out to Natalie from the cheer squad.
Natalie Gaspar?
I met her on the train when we were coming home, and really, she's really nice and lovely, and I thought it was good to chat to her. So
she is one of the greatest fans that we have, one of the greatest souls that we have, and love her very much. I will second you in giving her a shout out.
Yeah, because we're both just saying it's just the disappointment. And Cripps, if you're the captain of the club, why are you getting 9 disposals?
Yeah. Yeah, it's no good. It's no good.
No.
We'll hopefully it's better next week. And who knows? I don't really know what to make of the rest of the season, but who knows? Maybe getting some of these players back will spark something, but I don't really know how much of a difference Tom De Koning will make in one game or whatever. But let's see how much longer they make us wait for this turnaround, Matty.
Not another 20 years.
Hopefully not, eh?
No.
No. Good on ya. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks.
See ya. Kalia, hello.
Hello.
Good to see the ladies show up tonight. It's great.
This is the first time I've done this, so yeah. I tend to be the positive fan, so if anyone knows me personally, they know that I'm a positive person, and I try to always look positively on things. And I tend to let my emotions get the better of me a lot. And Brisbane versus Carlton, that was the first game where I turned the TV off, came into my room, put the blanket over my head, and cried. And I had a moment of that tonight as well. And for me, after, I always let my emotions settle down and I try to reflect on what I think happened and things like that. And I don't know, obviously you're not doing player 1, 2, 3s tonight, but I thought I'd give my overall 3, just the whole defensive back line. I think overall the defense was the only thing out there today that stood up 100%. And I say that because, I mean, I'm biased. I sponsor a backman, and hopefully next week he gets a game. Fingers crossed, people. But you know, I just saw, you know, Wiedering, Jones, Plowman, even Stocker. Then it's endless. I mean, obviously Sard, for me, I believe he was being tagged out of it, and they tagged him, had a tagger roll on him. But I would love to see. I know that everyone's talking about Williams, and I'd love to see him go back into sort of the defensive role where he was playing at Giants, and maybe bring Stocker forward into the midfield, try that scenario. And obviously I'm disappointed. I can't quite understand how we can get 27 goals up or 27 points up and then let it go. But that's Carlton, and I know we need to change that. And I don't know. I guess, like, I try to reflect positively and I try to look at the good things, and then, like, I don't know.
I mean, look, I think being positive and optimistic, there's nothing wrong. I'm very much the same. I'm very much not just in footy, but in life, very much an optimist, and you've got to look for the positive. But there is a reality that life is not always positive, and you need to have the negatives to understand how good the positives are. Like, without failure, you don't know what success is. Without sadness or heartbreak or whatever, you don't understand what happiness is. So I think we are almost shying away from, because we're fearful of addressing the fact that we're not good. I think at times we don't want to admit it because we don't want to be negative and we don't want to be toxic, and I understand that. But until we address it, it doesn't change. And I just feel like we haven't addressed whatever needs to be addressed. I'm looking around. Maybe it's wrong of me to look around at the other clubs, but I look at Sydney. I look at the environment that they have cultivated there. I look at, they've got kids. They're missing their star player for a long. I mean, Buddy's been out for 2 years. He's come back a few games this year. We're talking about, oh wow, if only we had Charlie Curnow. But the environment that they've cultivated at the Swans has allowed these kids to come in and play with this spirit. And I just don't know where the Carlton spirit is at times, you know? And then, look, I'm not saying that to be negative and a hero. I'm saying it because I'm watching a lifeless team.
Yeah, I agree. I was talking to my family about it earlier, and I see, like, the reserves, and I see people like, I call him LJ, but Lockie O'Brien and you know, players like that. And I think give them the chance. If they're going to step up in the reserves and they're going to have 24 to 30 disposals a game, give them the opportunity. And whether that be, you know, you have to drop Nunes or you have to drop SBS, or things players like that, where they're not showing their full potential, and give a kid a go. I mean, you take examples like Owies, Parks, you know, you take those kids for an example, and they're playing fantastic football. So why give these people who aren't putting their 100% in, and not give other people an opportunity? You know, like, that's how I look at it. I mean, I think it's not, Kennedy's getting a really bad run at it. I think he needs to get given the opportunity, and I obviously the Jack coming out this week, which is sad. Maybe he'll get that opportunity. I don't know, but I think, people like LJ and Kennedy and all that, who are trying so hard in the reserves, they should be rewarded for that, and not have, maybe Levi, SBS, Nunes, players like that who aren't showing their 100% need to be dropped out so that they can realize that it's not just a game anymore. It's something where they need to actually go out there and play as if it's like every week, as if it's a grand final,
Yeah,
Give it a
yeah,
100%.
yeah. I mean, I watched the first 2.5 quarters of the reserves. I thought I left wanting to see more from O'Brien. Definitely wanted to see more from Dow. I don't think they put their best foot forward. Definitely wanted to see more from Kennedy. I thought TDK, Durden, and I left wanting to see more from Willow. I thought he didn't play his best game today. I thought he turned the ball over a bit today, but it's hard. It's hard, Kalia. It's difficult, but we will.
That's why we don't do it, I guess. That's why we don't pick the players each week.
we will fight to live another day.
Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Alrighty. Good on you. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Peace. All right. I've got Chris, Dean, and Paddy, and then I think we'll call it a night. Christopher.
How you going, mate?
Good, mate. What's happening?
It's good. I just want to. I'm a young fan, obviously. Same as I'm about 23, and I always talk to my dad about, what does Carlton mean to you? Like, what does Carlton stand for? And it's always about like the tradition, the pride, and the willingness to win. And I just don't see it in this club anymore. I think that club has completely died. And it's probably saying really, I'm usually pretty optimistic, but obviously I'm very annoyed tonight. But I just don't. It's just not the same club. It's just, I think they made a really big mistake when they were rebuilding. They didn't bring enough veterans in to help the young kids. And now you see it with players like Cripps. They don't know how to win. They just don't. And I think that was the big mistake, I think, in rebuilding. We didn't help these young kids learn how to win. You need those older players to teach you how to win, how to get through those tough times. And we just don't have those players at the moment. And I think that's the massive problem. I think we have the talent. Talent's obvious to all of us there. We have stars, but they just don't know how to win. And that's the biggest problem. And once they learn how to win, we're going to be a fantastic side. But at the moment, it looks like a long, long way away.
Yeah. I think it's the funny, sad, angry, frustrating part is I don't think it's far away, because I think this is the list. That these are the guys. They're capable to do it. I really do believe that. I don't think we are. I don't think we're lacking talent. I think we are lacking a hard edge to our mentality. And how do you instill that? How do you motivate that? How do you empower that? I don't know what the answer is. I'm sure the club are asking the questions. I'm sure they are. I'm sure the footy club are asking the questions, and it's getting fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, I would say the club is actually. I'm actually really happy. They're starting to slightly move in the right direction by getting these kids in that aren't exactly the most talented, but they have real heart.
Yeah,
people like Parks, like they're not the most talented blokes, but you can see they give a shit.
Yeah.
And there's some players in there that you can see their body language is horrible.
Yeah.
Right. But at least we have these kids like Sam Walsh works so hard. I love this kid. He is seriously one of my favorite players I've ever watched in my life. Just how hard he works.
Yeah.
And then we know the people that aren't working hard, and the good thing is these young kids are making them look bad.
Yeah.
Because that's what they need to be. They need to be. We're calling them out now, and they need to be shown that these kids are they're not more talented than you. They're just working harder. That's all it is. It's all up here. It's all mental. And that's the problem with Carlton at the moment. Unfortunately, they don't either have the confidence or they don't want it. I think it's more confidence because, as I said before, I don't think the club did a good enough job of surrounding them with enough winners. Like the assistant managers. Do we have assistant coaches that are real winners? Like Melbourne got in Choco Williams, and he's known to be a fantastic assistant. And what happens? They're winning.
Yeah.
You need winners.
Yeah.
And that's what we don't have.
It's a good point, mate. Appreciate you bringing it up and appreciate you coming on.
Cheers, mate. Have a good night.
You too, brother. Maxi Nagel. With no McDonald, Kerno, or DeConing available for selection, Levi is selected for the structure so they can come in and fit well. He's battling through injury too, so give him some credit. Thank you very much, Max Nagel. Let's go Paddy and then Dean. Paddy.
Terry, how are you, mate?
I'm good, mate. Talk to me.
It's been a couple of weeks since I've jumped on. I
It
let
is.
the Kool-Aid settle. I think against Port Adelaide, I thought it was probably best for me not to jump on because it was despicable. I actually feel partly to blame today for this loss because ever since I was around 7, 8 years old, Terry, I went to the footy with my mum. What did I do today? I took me mum. I said to mum, do not cheer for Carlton. It's Mother's Day. I'll grab you a wine. I'll grab you whatever. She started nudging me halfway through the third quarter. Oh, Western Bulldogs are coming back. And that brought back vicious memories, Terry, with Brett Ratton, Bradley. They were still running around, and I just thought, don't nudge me, Mum. And then, she's getting me pizzas right now, so I'm allowed to speak my mind. But Jesus Christ, Mum, apologise to Blue Abroad, apologise to the Carlton family, and first of all, that's it. That's off my chest. But anyway, Mum drove in. Guess who was parking behind me at 20-3?
Who was parking behind you at 20-3?
Luke Power. He's a development coach, Terry. And we're talking about standards. And Mum's like, she doesn't follow much footy. So I thought I'd spoil her today and hopefully would get a win, whatever. That's a different story. But and she's like, who's that bloke? And I said, oh my God, he's one of the development coaches. And she's like, should we wave or whatever? I was like, no. Like, let him be. And I was like, hang on. I looked at the time. It was 20-3. So if we're talking about taking that extra step,
well,
and I thought that we were running late.
Well, you got to remember hang on. You got to remember he was at the reserves game today, right? And they played at 12 p.m.
Okay.
So he's a development coach for the guys that are developing in the reserves, and he was on the bench today. He was on the bench today. I was at the game today in the reserves. He was there on the bench, barking instructions and doing the things that he does as a development coach down there. So I think I know what you're saying, but I just think you missed the part. I think you missed the part about he's come from the reserve.
I'm not pointing the finger, but I'm saying about the standards. I'm just thinking, if he was at the game before, that's fantastic for him. That's fantastic. Like, that's great. But at the same time, what are these blokes in the ones that actually matter? What are they thinking when they're warming up and their coach isn't there? If you know what I mean, that's the sort of mentality that we have at the moment. I might be reading into it a lot.
Can we? Sorry, Paddy. Can we please talk about the game? Because let's be a bit more practical and let's talk about the game. Give me one thing that if you had to give me the number one priority for next week that needs to improve, what is it?
Next. The one thing that needs to improve is we need to get rid of Casbolt next week. And I'm sorry, I know it's all for structure and everything, but he gives us absolutely fuck all. And it's as simple as that. He got a hold on the ball, and I didn't know it was him that was tackling. And I thought, that's holding the ball. Who has it? It's Casbolt. I wish it was a ball up. That's what he gives us these days. That's what he gives us these days. And it's just it's the whole sort of standard setting mentality. We're up by 27 points. So it's the 30th time now Teague has 5+ goal swings. 30th.
Yeah.
We had, and I know the bloke that said a couple of 20 minutes ago that was all about positivity. He was saying that, there's nothing that we can do. That's the sort of mediocrity that we accept.
Yeah.
What do you mean there's nothing that we can do? There's two teams. There's absolutely something that we can do. And we got too many people on that same page. Oh, well, Dogs will be top 4. It's the same shit that they said about Collingwood was going to be top 4. They're fucking shit.
No, it's true.
I'm sorry to bring this up, Terry, but
that's okay. Yeah. I do want to get going because I do want to wrap it up.
No,
but
fair enough, mate.
Thanks for coming on, brother. I really appreciate it.
All right, I'll see you next week, hopefully with a win.
Fingers crossed, mate. Take it easy. Dean, have I got you?
Yeah, I think you do now, man. How's that?
Nice. Sounds good. So, you there? Yep.
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I'll see you clearly.
Awesome, mate. Talk to me.
Mate, do you know what's worse? I love Carlton, of course. I'm a Carlton supporter, that's why I'm here. But do you know what's worse than being a Carlton supporter?
What's that?
Being a Carlton and a Tottenham supporter.
Oh, wow.
Mate, anytime like there's an opportunity for us to take something by the balls and go for it, lose it every time. Every single time. And it's frustrating, but you can't help but watch it. You can't help it. Because I love this club, but it's just like, yeah, we can talk about the positives like Walsh, Mackay, Betts and all that, but what's the point of talking about the positives if we're not winning?
Yeah, that's right. This is a winning game. And I think, you know what's funny? A performance like that would have been acceptable in year 2, year 1 of the rebuild. You know? But it can't be now. It can't be. It can't
I agree.
be.
Because they're kids, but they're not, you know? Like, they're still young. They're not like fresh 18-year-olds. And the thing I find sad is when it comes to the selections, I'm not going to talk about Casbolt because everyone's already talked about Casbolt and like things like that. But what upsets me is that you're more likely going to see people like Cottrell and Stocker get dropped before players say like a Jack Nunes or a Michael Gibbons. And I really like those players. I think they're good squad fillers. They do the roles that they need to do. But over the past few weeks, they've both been very hit or miss. But you're still more likely to see the kids get dropped before you see the experienced players get dropped. And it's just frustrating. And, man, we talk about the Carlton arrogance. They used to be part of, like, the 80s and 90s, which I didn't see because I was born the week that we lost the grand final to North Melbourne. So I think this says enough about me. The Carlton arrogance, but unfortunately, the Carlton arrogance was there today when we were up by 27 points. And where did it get us? Like, and, well, there was the guy that you were talking to before, and like credit where credit's due. Like, I understand what he was saying with like no team could have beaten Western Bulldogs in that last quarter, but Badia no team could have beaten Western Bulldogs in that last quarter. Mate, if we had played like how we did in that third quarter, that second quarter, we would have won. I feel we would have won. Maybe that's just me being a one-eyed Carlton supporter, but I definitely think that game was there to be won in that last quarter. I know they outclassed us, but look, we outclassed them in the second and third quarter.
Yeah, we
and
did.
I feel I'm not wrong in that.
No, I think you're right. I think we did, but we were on top on all fronts. I thought they were even fortunate to be where they were. I thought they got some goals off fortunate umpiring calls at times, which got them a little lucky, and we worked. And to our credit, we did respond when we needed to. We kicked goals at times, but I'm not going to leave from that game saying that was a step in the right direction because it wasn't. It wasn't.
Yeah, with the umpires, like there was a part of me in the third quarter, like I feel like if we lose this game, I don't want to blame the umpires, but I can't help it. But after that last quarter, it's like, man, you can't even blame the umpires for that. That's just lack of quality, lack of effort. And it's frustrating. Like, are you a Simpsons fan by any chance?
I am a Simpsons fan, yes.
You know that episode of The Simpsons where Homer's building the barbecue? And it's like, goes, oh, that's a fine-looking barbecue. Why does the mine look like that? It's like me watching Sydney's rebuild. Just seeing how they got all these top stars coming in. They're already chasing for finals footy. And we've been doing that for 20 years. It's like, why does our rebuild look like that? It's
so true.
Mate, it's just... I had a comment that was on the Almost Blues Brothers podcast, which love those boys.
Love them.
After round 2 against Collingwood, I said I'm not mad anymore because I get mad during wins. You know, because when we make mistakes, I was just sad. In the end, like I feel a little bit better listening to this. It's been like an hour and a half. I've mellowed down, but it's just still like it's the hope that kills you. It's the hope that kills. And I'm still gonna watch next week. I'm still gonna watch the rest of the season. Like, yeah, season's not over technically. But just the effort. You want the effort for now. Like, we can focus on next week, but for now, it just sucks.
Yeah, that's right.
Right. It's like, sorry that I'm still going. It's not like a few years ago. It's like, yeah, the kids will improve. You know we've got the talent to get to where we want to be. And I don't know if it's Teague or if it's the players. And with Cripps, look, I love Cripps. If he left, I wouldn't be as heartbroken as I would have been maybe a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. I still don't want him to go. No way. I love Cripps with all my heart. But I don't know. Just there's a lot left to be done. And I'm seeing Teague just being like for the whole game every week. There's no mongrel there. It's not there anymore. I don't know if it ever was there over the past 2 years. So,
I mean, I'm going to go watch the press conference now, and I'm very scared of hearing, our inside 50 count, we thought we did a pretty good job there, or, we've just got to play our way for longer. And I don't know. I'm a bit scared to watch it, but we'll see what happens.
we've got effort. We know what to do for next week there. It's like, oh, come on, man. It's the same shit.
Yeah.
All right.
Mate, thanks so much for coming on, and sorry about the tech issues before, but appreciate your patience.
All good, man. Thank you very much.
See you, brother. Okay. Well, that'll do us, guys. I think, as I said before, I definitely feel a little bit more subdued than what I did an hour and a half ago when we started. So I hope that that's rubbed off on the rest of you. I'm very grateful to be able to sit here and listen to everyone that comes on. It's Mother's Day. Maybe we should switch off from the footy for today and just go and give our mums a hug. And obviously, for those whose mothers aren't around, obviously thinking of you on a day like today. It must have been a tough day, but it's your mothers matter more than your football club, because your mum will never let you down, but those 22 blokes will absolutely let you down. So anyway, smile. We'll fight to live another day. The review and player ratings are going to be out. I think they're going to be out a little bit later this week. We'll see how we go with timing. But nevertheless, have a great one. Have a great night, and we'll see you during the week. Go the Mighty Blues.